Okay, so picture this. You're running paid ads, and they just work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're attracting the right people. Conversions are awesome, and the
Yeah.
budget's optimized.
Yeah, sounds like a marketer's dream, right?
It really does, and that's what AI can bring to paid traffic, and it's what we're going to be looking at today.
Awesome.
We're going to be doing a deep dive into an article called ChatGPT in Paid Traffic, Strategies to Maximize Conversions with AI.
Okay.
It's by a marketing expert named Steves Jr.
Cool.
And I think you're going to find this one super interesting because it really lays out how AI can help you get past some of the biggest challenges in paid traffic.
Yeah, I'm all ears. Like, what was the first thing that jumped out at you?
Well, I think one of the biggest pain points for me has always been targeting,
Right.
making sure I'm reaching the right audience.
Yeah.
And this article points out that ChatGPT can actually help you pinpoint your ideal customer,
Uh-huh.
their interests and behaviors with like laser focus.
It's all about getting granular, right? Imagine knowing exactly who is most likely to be interested in your product or service.
Totally.
That's incredibly powerful, that level of precision.
Yeah, and the article even gives you an example of a prompt you can use.
Okay.
It says, analyze the target audience of a campaign for product service to discover specific interests.
Ooh.
And think about how you could use that with your own campaigns.
Yeah.
What kind of things could you uncover about your audience that you might not know already?
It's like having like a team of analysts working 24/7 just to understand your customers even better than ever.
And it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
ChatGPT can also help you to craft ad copy that really resonates with your audience.
Uh-huh.
So copy that doesn't just get clicks,
Yeah.
but actually converts.
It's about moving beyond those generic messages, right?
Yes.
And creating something that speaks directly to those needs and desires of your target audience.
Yeah, and the article gives another great prompt for this one.
Okay.
Create a persuasive title for an ad for product service with a focus on main benefit. So it's not only giving you ideas, but it's also making sure that those ideas are focused on what matters most to your customers.
I think what's really fascinating about this is that it can level the playing field.
Uh-huh.
Smaller businesses with limited resources can tap into this power to craft really compelling copy that can compete with larger competitors.
Yeah, it's like having a team of copywriters at your fingertips.
Exactly.
But it's not just about the words. It's also about testing and refining those messages.
Oh, are you talking about A/B testing?
Exactly.
Right.
So A/B testing, for anyone who might not be familiar, is basically like running an experiment on your ads.
Gotcha.
You create different variations, show them to different groups of people, and you see which one works better.
Okay.
And the article suggests that we can use ChatGPT to come up with lots of different ad variations for this very purpose.
So instead of just relying on a gut feeling or intuition, you let the data guide you.
Exactly.
And then you can actually see what messages resonate best with the target audience, and you can keep making your campaigns better for maximum impact.
And imagine being able to analyze all that data without breaking a sweat.
Right.
The article talks about how ChatGPT can transform complex campaign metrics into user-friendly reports that save you tons of time and give you actionable insights.
This is where it all comes together, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about ideas or writing copy. It's about understanding what's working and what isn't.
Yeah.
ChatGPT can help you track your ROI, identify any areas for improvement, and then ultimately make better decisions about your strategy.
And it even provides a prompt for this.
Okay.
Generate a report with the main results of a Google Ads campaign over a specific time period.
Nice.
So if you're someone who hates digging through spreadsheets, this could be your new best friend.
It's like having a personal data analyst on call 24/7.
Yeah.
And think about all the time you save by automating this process. What could you accomplish if you weren't bogged down by all those reporting tasks?
That is a great question. For me, it would be brainstorming new campaign ideas, experimenting with different approaches, really trying to think outside the box.
It allows you to shift from just reacting to being proactive.
Yeah.
Instead of simply responding to data, you're using it to inform your strategy and to drive innovation.
Okay, so we talked about targeting ad copy and reporting.
Right.
But there's one other critical piece of the puzzle that we haven't talked about yet, and that's budget management.
Ah, yes, the eternal struggle of making every dollar count.
Exactly. And according to this article, ChatGPT can analyze your campaign metrics, predict costs,
Wow.
and even suggest the best keywords for your budget.
Nice.
So it's all about optimizing your budget for maximum ROI.
Imagine being able to anticipate any potential cost overruns.
Yeah.
Identify keywords that are just sucking up your budget without giving you anything in return,
Right.
and adjust your bidding strategy in real time.
That's awesome.
That's a game changer for any marketer, especially those with limited budgets.
The article even gives you a prompt for this.
Okay.
Create a budget allocation plan for a value campaign on Google Ads. So you're not just getting information, you're getting actionable recommendations that are tailored to you.
It removes the guesswork and it gives you data-driven insights so you can make smarter decisions about how to allocate your budget.
So let's stop here for a second and think about this.
Okay.
Imagine having all this power at your fingertips. How would ChatGPT change the way you approach paid traffic?
I think for me, the biggest benefit would be the time savings.
Yeah.
Automating all those tedious tasks like reporting and budget analysis would free up so much time for me to focus on the bigger picture.
I hear that. And I think for a lot of marketers, it's about not feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah,
Paid traffic can feel really complex,
absolutely.
but ChatGPT offers a way to simplify those processes and make it feel more manageable.
It's like having a co-pilot guiding you through the complexities of paid traffic,
Yeah,
and it's helping you stay on course to reach your destination.
exactly. So we've seen how ChatGPT can help with targeting, ad copy reporting, and budget management.
Right.
But this is really just the beginning.
Yeah, I'm curious what else was in the article.
Well, the article also mentions how ChatGPT can be used for other things, too, outside of just paid traffic,
Like what?
like Instagram engagement logistics, customer service even.
Wow.
It really got me thinking, if this is what it can do for advertising, imagine the possibilities in these other areas.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
Like we're just scratching the surface here.
totally.
This article focuses on paid traffic, but it's really just a glimpse at the vast potential that AI has for marketing as a whole.
But I do think it's important to acknowledge that there might be some downsides, too. Potential risks and ethical considerations with AI.
Oh, absolutely. We need to approach this technology with a balanced perspective
Yeah.
and be mindful of the potential impact it could have.
I think that's a great place to pause for now. And in the next part, we'll continue exploring those nuances and we'll look at the opportunities and the potential risks of AI in marketing. So stay tuned.
Picking up where we left off, I think it helps to see how some of these concepts are being applied in the real world. Like, did you see any examples in the article?
Oh, yeah. There were a few that really stuck with me. One was about a cosmetics company that was using ChatGPT to make their email marketing more personal.
Okay. Personalization is key these days, right?
Yeah, everyone wants to feel like they're being spoken to directly.
Right, not just part of some massive email list.
Exactly. And this company was able to kind of take it to the next level. They gave ChatGPT all this data about their customers. So like purchase history, browsing behavior, product preferences.
So ChatGPT could like tailor each message to each person?
That's right. It was pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
And the results were really impressive. They saw way more people opening their emails and clicking through.
That makes sense. If you open an email and it feels like it's actually for you,
Right.
you're way more likely to actually read it.
And maybe buy something.
Exactly.
The article also mentioned a travel agency that was using ChatGPT to create content for their social media.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Creating content can be such a time suck for businesses.
It really can. And it's not just about like making any old content. It has to be engaging, informative, and it has to sound like it's coming from your brand.
Right. So how did ChatGPT help them with that?
Well, they basically gave it information about their travel destinations, their target audience, and their brand voice. And ChatGPT was able to come up with all kinds of stuff.
Like what?
Captions for social media posts, blog articles, even itinerary suggestions.
Wow, that's wild. It's like having a content creator on your team.
Yeah. And it saved them a bunch of time and resources.
Right.
But it also helped make sure that their content was fresh and interesting.
That's a win-win. They were able to tap into that AI creativity without losing their own brand identity.
And the last example that really stood out to me was an online retailer that was using ChatGPT to power their chatbot.
Okay, chatbots are becoming more and more popular. But I've always been a little skeptical about how well they actually work.
I know what you mean. Sometimes they can feel a bit robotic and impersonal.
Yeah.
But in this case, this retailer was able to use ChatGPT's natural language processing capabilities to create a chatbot that could really understand and respond to customer queries in a way that felt more natural and helpful.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't just giving those canned responses.
No, it was having real conversations.
That's impressive.
And it was available 24/7 so customers could get support whenever they needed it.
I can see how that would be huge for both the customers and the business.
Right. The customers get quick answers, and the business can free up their customer service agents for more complicated issues.
It's a great example of how AI can make things better for the customer and make the business more efficient at the same time.
And as we're seeing with all these examples, it's about finding that balance between automation and the human touch.
I think that's so important. We don't want to lose sight of the human element just because AI is so cool.
For sure, it's about using AI as a tool to enhance what we can do, not to replace us altogether.
Okay, so speaking of potential downsides, we wanted to touch on some of the ethical considerations around AI in marketing, right?
Yes, that's right. It's important to remember that this technology isn't perfect,
For sure.
and there are some risks.
One concern that comes to mind is job displacement.
Yeah.
As AI gets more and more sophisticated,
Uh-huh.
it's natural to wonder if it'll eventually take over all the marketing jobs.
That's a valid concern. Automation has always disrupted different industries and led to people losing their jobs.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It's not about AI taking over. It's about us using it responsibly and ethically.
Right. And I think the key here is for us to focus on developing those skills that AI can't replicate.
So things like creativity, critical thinking,
Right.
emotional intelligence.
Exactly. Those are the human qualities that will always be in demand no matter how advanced AI gets.
It's not about being afraid of AI. It's about understanding it and using it as a force for good.
So what do you think this means for the future of marketing?
Mm.
What kind of trends do you see emerging as AI becomes more common?
Well, I think we're going to see a move towards hyper-personalization.
Yeah.
AI is going to let us tailor marketing messages to individual people like never before.
Imagine getting ads that are actually relevant to your interests.
Right, instead of those generic ones that just feel annoying.
It's not just about ads, though.
Right.
It's about creating whole marketing experiences that are customized for each person.
Yeah, AI can help us really understand how consumers behave.
Right.
And spot patterns and trends that we might not even notice.
It's like having a crystal ball that can predict the future of marketing.
I like that.
Maybe not a crystal ball,
Okay.
but it's a powerful tool that can definitely help us make better decisions and more effective campaigns.
So I think the main takeaway for our listeners is that AI isn't some magical solution, but it is a really powerful tool that can help you improve your marketing in a lot of different ways.
I agree. It's about embracing the potential of AI, but also being aware of the challenges and making sure we're using it ethically.
And remembering that it's up to us as marketers to shape the future of AI and make sure it's used for the right reasons.
Well said. I think this is a great time to move on to the last part of our deep dive.
Absolutely. In part 3, we'll talk about some practical tips and strategies for actually incorporating AI into your marketing. So stay with us. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the potential of AI for marketing, but how can our listeners actually start using it? What are some practical steps they can take?
I think the first thing is don't be intimidated by AI. There are so many tools out there that are really user-friendly, even if you're not super techy.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because it seems like everyone's talking about AI, but sometimes it's hard to know where to even begin.
Right. Well, a great place to start is actually with ChatGPT itself. We talked about some prompts you can use for things like ad copy and market research, but you can really experiment with it in so many different ways.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy that you can bounce ideas off of and get instant feedback.
Exactly. And then beyond ChatGPT, there are platforms out there that use AI for specific marketing tasks like social media scheduling, email automation, even website personalization.
So it sounds like there's a whole ecosystem of AI tools available. But with so many options, it's probably important to have a strategy before you just jump in.
Oh, absolutely. Don't just use AI for the sake of using AI. Start by thinking about what you want to achieve. What are your goals? What are the biggest challenges you're facing?
So figure out what you're hoping to get out of AI and what specific problems you're trying to solve.
Right. Once you have that figured out, then you can start looking at the tools that make the most sense for you.
It's about finding the right tools for your needs and your budget.
And here's another tip. Start small. You don't have to try to do everything at once. Pick one or two areas where you think AI could really make a difference.
So maybe try automating a task that takes up a lot of your time, or experiment with AI-powered content creation on one social media platform.
Exactly. That way you can get some quick wins and build some momentum as you get more comfortable. You can start doing more with AI.
It's about taking things one step at a time and learning as you go.
And throughout this process, it's really important to remember that human element AI should be there to help you, not to replace you.
Right, we talked about the importance of creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. Those are all things that humans are still really good at.
And here's one final thought as you start exploring AI, pay close attention to the data.
Yeah, data is always so important on marketing. It tells us what's working and what's not.
AI can give you tons of data and insights, but it's up to you to understand what it all means and make smart decisions.
It's all about trying things out and making adjustments as you go, just like with any other marketing strategy.
And as you're experimenting and learning, share what you're learning with other people. We can all learn from each other's experiences.
It's a really exciting time to be in marketing. AI is opening up so many new possibilities, and it's up to us to use this technology in a responsible and ethical way.
I totally agree. This has been a great deep dive into the world of AI and paid traffic. I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to explore these tools and see what they can do.
Me too. It's clear that AI is here to stay, and the marketers who embrace it and learn how to use it effectively are going to have a big advantage in the future.
So to everyone listening, don't be afraid to jump in and give it a try. You might be surprised at what you can accomplish.
The future of marketing is being shaped right now, and you can be a part of it.
That's a perfect way to wrap things up. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.